In 2021, I read a book that changed my life. It was called Focus by Padram Shogia. And in that book, he talked about Laura, a patient with MS who was struggling with her health. She felt stuck. And I resonated with Laura's story. Padram explained how Laura made one small change in her day that helped her grow. Today, I'm going to be sharing the 3 Ds of personal growth. The first thing that Laura did was she decided to make a change. She felt stuck. She wanted to get out of that situation. So she decided. Making a decision is very challenging. The second D that Laura implemented was discipline. Discipline is a dirty word in our modern world. Laura decided to create a discipline of drinking one tall glass of water every morning before her cup of coffee. That may seem very small, but when we create a discipline in our life and we follow through on it, it can actually help us with our energy. That energy that we're getting is the neurotransmitter dopamine, which is the third D. Dopamine is the chemical of motivation, of movement. When we make movement, when we do the things that we say we're going to do, we get energy in the form of dopamine. That dopamine helped Laura engage in other activities to build her personal wellness. Now, I resonated with this story. In 2021, I was a cog in the machine. I was stuck. I was reading code in a dark room, trying to figure out what my engineers were doing. This is literally the opposite of what I told my company that I wanted to do. I told them I wanted to lead teams of people, to facilitate groups of people thinking about big things, about changing lives. Instead, I found myself in a dark room reading code all day. I decided I needed a change. And I built the discipline of daily yoga. Daily yoga was something that I felt was achievable for me to do every day. And after just 12 days of doing my daily yoga practice, I had so much dopamine. I started weightlifting. 6 months later, I signed up for yoga teacher training. I loved it. It was so energizing. 3 months later, I got my certificate and I started teaching right here in my backyard to my neighbors and friends. Everyone gave me so much support, so much dopamine. I actually quit my tech job in May of 2022. That's 1 year after deciding to create a discipline, giving me dopamine to change my life. Now, was it challenging for me to decide to quit my high paying tech job? It was very, very scary, very challenging, and I was very concerned and worried. But you know what? I had so much dopamine. I went through that gate and I quit my big tech job and I decided to take my career into my own hands and build my wellness entrepreneurship. So today, I am so excited to share with you my story because this past week, I launched my new program called Joyful Joints, which is all about rebuilding our joints so that we can move and live and do the activities that we love doing. How can we all move from that place of being stuck, being a cog in the machine, to a place of strength, of being able to be strong and move towards the goals that we want? It's very small steps, but first of all, you have to decide. So let's all take a moment. Let's decide. Think in your mind. You can close your eyes if you want to. What is it that you want to change in your life? Is there something, a big change that you're worried about making? Let's all just take 3 deep breaths, thinking about something that we want to change. That's one breath. Take another breath. One more deep inhale through the nose. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. So, to make that decision, it's very challenging. And sometimes we have to be in a lot of pain before we make a decision. Then, once we've made that hard decision, we have to add a discipline. Discipline is that dirty word in the Western world. But what kind of discipline could you add? It could be as small as drinking 1 glass of water before your coffee. It could be as large or big as adding a daily practice like yoga or martial arts, maybe running, walking, meditation. How about working on your Toastmasters craft? It could be a weekly practice like coming to a Toastmasters meeting, going to hire a personal trainer. That word discipline is really the key here because that's going to help you build confidence in yourself that you are able to work towards your goals. When you see that you are trustworthy and that you are making progress little by little, even when it's painful, that's what gives you that dopamine, which will help you do the next big step that will emerge. So today, I hope that I have inspired you, motivated you, and given you the 3 Ds of personal growth: decision, discipline, and dopamine. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.